An E. coli outbreak at several Calgary daycares has left up to 50 children sick. 12 people have been hospitalized. 17 cases now confirmed in the lab have been linked to the outbreak. Let's bring in Chris O'Neill-Yates, who has the details so far on this situation in Calgary. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. Some anxious moments for parents over the weekend. About 50 children have shown up at hospitals in the Calgary area with symptoms such as bloody diarrhea. The daycares in question, most of them belong to the franchise, the chain Fueling Brains, but there have been some others. And we are hearing reports that this outbreak is believed to be traced to a central kitchen, which is shared by Fueling Brains and a number of other daycares in the Calgary area. It's got parents concerned, understandably. One of the people we've spoken to is a parent named Sarah McDonald. Her 4-year-old son has been hospitalized.
We went to the hospital. They kind of said, yeah, he's really sick, go home, though, he'll get through it. We came back, and at that point we realized that there had been a diagnosis of E. coli made with some of his classmates at the daycare, and it was shortly after that that we got our own confirmed diagnosis.
So normally an E. coli infection would be quite common, similar to maybe traveler's diarrhea. But in this case, we're hearing officials say that it's a Shingles toxin positive E. coli, which would be responsible for some of those symptoms, such as the bloody diarrhea that we're hearing from parents. Dr. Isaac Bogosh is an infectious diseases specialist, and here's what he had to say about that particular strain of E. coli.
This type of E. coli produces a toxin that can cause a cascade in the body that has the potential to harm the kidneys and cause kidney damage just from an E. coli outbreak. So people can have abdominal pains and diarrhea, but sometimes they'll have bloody diarrhea. And that's obviously a big red flag. People should go in and get checked out.
So normally people would be treated with antibiotics, but in this case, antibiotics could exacerbate the problems that children are having here. So we don't know the exact numbers. We expect to hear more on this today, hopefully from the Alberta Health Service, but also CBC has reached out to Fueling Brains, the daycare that owns the majority of the centers where children have been presenting at hospitals from. And they tell us that they will respond this morning with more information on this situation. So Heather, hopefully we'll have more details for people and a better idea of the numbers and the type of E. coli that parents are having to deal with as their children who are in daycares in Calgary have been falling sick over the last number of days.